Even if it was your weekend of a lifetime, I guarantee it was still not half the weekend that Fernando Tatis Jr. just had. Padres, Dodgers. He played 7 games already this season, and I've seen all I need to see to know that I need a lot more. 19 of these are not going to be nearly enough. I need more. In fact, why don't we just tell everybody else in Major League Baseball, y'all can do whatever the hell you want to do, because we all just want to see the Dodgers and the Padres beat the crap out of each other 162 times. Just wipe the schedule, let these two give each other the hands for 162. Let these two rake, cheat, allegedly, hit bombs, style those bombs, and talk bleep to each other on the field and then on social media every single night. Do that, and I'm good. The other 28 teams in baseball can just go off to the side, play amongst themselves, and leave the big dogs to drive back and forth on the 5, beating the hell out of each other. Because right now in baseball, for heat and juice, it is the Padres, Dodgers, and everybody else. In fact, right now in team sports, it's Padres, Dodgers, and everybody else. Nothing else is close right now. I mean, this rivalry is so good. It is so legit, it could single-handedly make baseball relevant once again. That rivalry alone could save the sport. You don't believe me? Check the first series of the year, which had extra innings, dugouts being emptied, bull bleep swings, an incredible game-winning catch, and lots of junk talking. Like, it was so good. There was no way that rematch was going to be as good. But then it was. And that was pretty much all due to one dude, one singular freak of nature, Fernando Tatis Jr. El Nino touchdown in Dodger Stadium, and he lit that joint up on Friday. It was lit. He comes in Friday in the top of the third in a tie game, and he broke that tie in a hurry. One pitch, bomb. He saw that 90-mile-per-hour fastball. He turned it around at 113.4 mph. And then he did it again in the 5th. And I'm not sure what was better, the blast itself or the trip around the bases. Having an exit velo of 115.9 is great. Taking a trip around the bases that could be timed with a sundial is even better. Like, there have been guys who stutter step during home run trots, but I can't remember the last time somebody did a stutter step that was practically rocking back and nearly taking a few steps backwards before rounding third. Like, that is practically some Jeffrey Leonard flap down bleep right there. And you know that's my favorite trot of all time. 2 homers in the same game. And he did it on the 22nd anniversary of Fernando Tatis Sr. going absolute legend with a pair of grand slams in the same inning off Chan-Ho Park. El Nino did not quite outdo Pops on Friday, but it was pretty damn good. And if that's all he did during the series, that would have been amazing. But it wasn't. He comes back on Saturday and was even better in terms of action and spice and juice. Because Saturday, he led off the game against Trevor Bauer. That home run was great. The trip, though, again, around the bases, even better. Because on his way to second base, if you saw that video, he turned back to the Padres dugout and he covered his eye, mocking Bauer pitching to the Padres with one eye closed in spring training. And he still wasn't done. He led off the top of the 6th against Bauer again, and this time both guys battle. Tatis falls behind 0-1, then 1-2. Then he gets to a full count. He fouls off the next pitch to stay alive, and then he went yard again. He breaks out the Conor McGregor billionaire strut after he crosses home plate. I mean, hell yes. That is the best, the absolute best. Normally, a guy does something like that. The opposing pitcher gets a red ass. The next batter gets one in his ear, or he's eating through a straw, but not Bauer. Bauer, as we know, is a really different dude. Bauer says, I'm actually good with it. Hey, listen, I've been saying that now for the last couple of years. I love that reaction. That is absolutely the right take. You throw at somebody because you screwed up and you gave up a bomb. I mean, that's not tough. That's not hard. That's soft. That's the opposite of tough. That's horse bleep is what that is. Hitting a home run is hard. Guys should get fired up. And Tatis was. As he said after the game, it was, quote, payback time. He also added this. All right, so I like this. I like both their reactions. And then they took the heat to Twitter because Bauer retweeted a video posted by somebody of Tatis at the at-bat with the caption, quote, am I crazy or like, did Fernando Tatis Jr. know what was coming? Let me know. Well, Bauer saw that, and then he had a message with that video, which was, quote, if you need to know what pitch is coming that badly, just ask Daddy nicely next time. You know I ain't scared, homie, end quote. All right, now we got something. There was no way that Tatis was not going to respond to that, right? So he did, with a Photoshop of him holding a baby with Trevor Bauer's face and the caption, Tranquilo, hijo, or quote, calm down, son. Man, again, I cannot stress how awesome this all is. Two great teams who obviously hate each other, battling their asses off on the field, talking junk during games and after it, and mocking and clowning each other on Twitter. It's so good. It is the best thing that could happen to Major League Baseball. This is why I'm saying this should just be a freeway series from now until the end of the season. Scrap the rest of the games. Just keep running it back. And it's not over. Because before yesterday's game, and yes, there is more, even Dave Roberts, classiest guy ever, talked about the notion of Fernando looking back and peaking. Quote, that'll be noted. And my man's not talking about having his catchers change their signs. Also, this obviously worked its way back to Bauer, and old Trev was not that happy about it either. Telling you, man, baseball code. Yeah, this is something else also that, way back in the day, I kind of understood the code as much as somebody who never played the game at a high level could understand the code. And then I got sick of the code the last couple of years. But every once in a while, the baseball code does make me laugh. Like Bauer's there on record saying, hey, man, if you want to flip the bat, that's great. If you want to admire your work, that's great. I don't care about any of that. Don't be peeking at the catcher, though. That's what they're saying. For the most part, I really am over the code. But in this case, what they're saying is the code says if you can pick signs, fine. But there's a right way of doing it and a wrong way of doing it, an accepted way of stealing signs and a way of stealing signs that might have you wearing one in the end, and peeking back to look at the catcher is the wrong way. We're not okay with that. And if we catch you doing that, then we're going to go baseball vigilante on your ass and take matters into my own hands. And that's an all-time great guy in Dave Roberts, who pretty much just said that. Now, personally, again, I'm not a fan of settling things by throwing a hard rock at each other in triple digits. So I'm not going to really condone that. But I am going to stress that I need this series to continue on a daily basis. Because the Sunday finale, I'm not even done yet, the Sunday finale may have been even better than the three that came before it. LA jumps out to a 2-0 lead, then guess who comes up at the top of the fourth? They can't keep that guy in that yard. That is a spacious yard. That is a pitcher's yard. And that's a stacked rotation in that pitcher's yard, and they can't keep this guy in the house. But it seemed like that was not going to matter because the Padres fell behind 7-1. Now, I'm not going to say that game was over at 7-1, but given the teams that entered the seventh inning down by 6 runs had a record of 113,547. They had 100 wins and 13,547 losses over the past 50 years. Pretty good stat. Yeah, that game was over. Pretty hard to get jacked up about a .007 winning percentage in situations like that, especially against the defending champs in their house. Yet the Padres scored 2 in the 7th, 2 in the 8th, 2 in the 9th. They tie it up. And then in the 11th, guess who would start the inning on second base and steal third? El Nino. Hey, Padre fan, why are my phone lines not completely jacked and filled with you before the end of the opening segment? 1-800-636-8686. I know you're feeling it. Down 7-1 and coming back to win 8-7. It's a hell of a comeback. Eric Hosmer said that was not just a win, that was something way more than a win. Damn right that was a statement of win. Coming back from the dead like that is massive. Doing it in a situation like that is even bigger. I know it's only April, but they had to have that. The Padres had to have that. If you're going to be serious about competing with the Dodgers, you can't win the first 2 games of that series, then drop the last 2. You can't watch them go to 10 games over 500 while you drop to 500. It is April, but you can't let that happen. San Diego had to have it, and they got it. And while it is only April, I will say this once again, there is nothing better in this sport than Dodgers v. Padres. There may not be anything better in team sports right now. I need more of that. Again, last series, it was a 2-run leadoff homer. This season, tranquilo, hee-ho, tweets. This series, the Padres were telling, or I should say last series, the Padres were telling Kershaw to shut the bleep up. This series, it was Tatis telling Kershaw, get back up on that launching pad. I'm not done with you.